Hello guys, welcome back to this IQ Option Automation Series P1. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get candles data. So we will be doing three things. First, we will get historical candlestick data like this, okay, candlestick bars, maybe 500 or thousands of candlestick bars. Then we will second we'll plot this data in mplfinance chart to see what we are seeing in the IQ option platform and in our chart is the same to ensure the data reliability. And third, we are going to store this candlestick data to a CSV file so that we can use this CSV file data later on to perform like technical analysis, signal generations, and more. Now let's get started. Let's go to IQ option web, right click to inspect, go to network tab, WebSocket, and here in the source bar type get candles. Okay, so in order to get historical candlestick data, this is the payload that we need to send. Now let's copy all of these, go to ChatGPT, or I'm using DeepSeek, and say like make it a nice JSON payload. Excuse me. Okay, so out of this I'm going to copy this message key value pair only, and now let's define a function to get candlestick data. I'm going to give it name like get candle history, since we're getting the already formed candles, right? And paste the content copied from the ChatGPT or DeepSeek. Okay, and instead of key value pair like this, it needs to be a variable with dictionary values this way, right? And instead of JSON true, we need to use Python true syntax, right? All looks good. And then we also need the name, this name. Right, so far so good. So things to know here is couple of things from this body. Okay, so the active ID is the ID for particular assist like Euro USD is the text representation, but it has ID assigned behind the scene, right? And in the last three videos we have been fetching underlying list. Right now this thing will come into action, so now we need the ID from this, right? So for Euro USD, this is the regular Euro USD. Okay, there is another one is Euro USD OTC. This is regular Euro USD. And for option trading, it has this suffix Euro USD dash OP, Euro GBP dash OP. So these are the regular market, and it has suffix OP, and that's because it's option trading, right? For marginal or regular forex trading, the pair is the same, right? But the text name is just Euro USD and the ID is 1. But the same pair, right, the same regular USD pair has different name when it comes to options trading, either binary, digital, blitzed or turbo option, right? So this is the ID, right? So we like, so this Euros API has 1864. Euro USD has Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD has 1861, and here you can see the ID 1861. Okay, and for now we will pass this static value to WebSocket and see if it works or not. And once it works, we'll make this dynamic. Okay, and this size is the candlestick time frame. Here you can see 5 second, take 10, 15, 30, 1, 2, 5. These are the candlestick time frame, right? Now if you want to get 5-second candlestick data, you can simply do like replace 60 with 5, right? If you want to get 15 second, you want to get 15, right? And if you want to get 5 minute data, you need to, like, this needs to be 300, right? Right now I'm going to get 60-second or 1 minute candle, and this from id and to id is the candle from this particular id to this. Get me the candles from between this candlestick id to this candlestick id. So this id is, each candlestick is assigned a unique id for particular time frame. So in case of 5 second, the candlestick id will be huge, because in a minute, like, there forms about 12 candlestick, right? For 1 minute the candlestick id will be different, because in 1 minute only one candlestick forms, and the same way for others, right? And then this is not important, and this one is only close, this one is important, okay? And why this is important is, uh, like, in many cases we don't want to get the candles that is still forming. In this case, this candle is still forming, but this has already it's already formed, right? So in many cases, for me personally, I don't need candle that is currently forming. I need candles that are already forming, right? So to make sure we get only the formed candle, we need to set this to true. If you want to get candles including that's currently forming, you can set this to false, this way, okay? Not this way. Capital F needs to be capital, okay? So F needs to be capital, but I'm going to set this true based on my requirements, okay? So all looks good, right? So everything is clear now. Later on we'll make this value in a moment, we'll make this value dynamic, okay? Right now let's use this as static and pass this to WebSocket. Now let's make WebSocket request, and okay, what's the error? It's outside the function, that's why. Send WebSocket request and pass the name and message. Excuse me. Now let's wait for some time for candlestick data to arrive, okay? All looks good. Now let's invoke that function. Get candle history, no need to pass any argument, all looks good. Okay, and before starting, please make sure to install these two libraries, mplfinance and Pandas. You can install it individually or combined like this, okay? I have already installed it. It will say requirement already satisfied for me, but for in any case it will be different if you haven't installed it, okay? So it says requirement already satisfied, all looks good. Now I will run this module python main underscore v1.py, and I'm running it from git bash. Python main v1.py. Okay. My bad, actually we're not printing the message, so we will not see anything, right? So let's go all the way up to on message function and on comment this line. This will print all the messages, but not a big issue for now, right? We just want to make sure we're getting the data. Okay, so we are getting the message, right? Here in the web, select receive, and you can see candles, right? So this is how the WebSocket returns the candles data. The name, message name is candles, okay, and it returns candles this way, right? Here you can see the candles, right? Close from, it's a time, right? From and to is like this time to this time. ID is the candlestick ID, min max is equals to high low and the volume. So this is how we get the candlestick data from the WebSocket, right? So this means we can filter for this message from the whole WebSocket message, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to filter that message, okay? Instead of initializing data, filter for candles, okay? and instead of inserts data, I'm going to set this to candle, and from candle, from this message, what I need to get is MSG, and MSG has candles. Okay, so I'm going to get the data only, other things are not important for us. That's why I'm filtering the message, right? So from message, and there is a key called candles, get me the candles. Okay, you can define this attribute to init function, or it's not important, like you don't need to necessarily import it, but in cases where you try to use it, like when it has value none, you might get an error, right? uh, okay, so not a big deal. Let's say, let's define it here, right? All looks good. Okay, all looks good. Now I will comment this line, right? I don't want to print everything because it makes console reading difficult, right? Now instead of time dot sleep like this, I don't want to necessarily wait for 5 seconds. Okay, while self dot candle, so until self dot candle equals to none, keep looping with small delay, right? All looks good. And now we can print the candle here this way, API dot candles. So this is the attribute that we have defined, right? So self is now API, that's why we don't need to write self. All looks good. Clear the console. Run the script. We must be getting this list with dictionaries only. We'll not get request ID and other things, okay? Because that's how we have filtered it now, and seems like yes, it's a list with dictionary, right? And let's copy one dictionary from it. Okay, and I'm going to paste it here to see the data format. See, so the candle, each candle has ID from, to, open, close, mean, max, volume, right? So this is what each candle contains. Okay, all looks good. We have successfully fetched the candles data, right? Now let's plot this candles data to mplfinance chart uh, to see what we see in the platform here is the same as the candles in our mplfinance chart, right? For that, what needs to be done is we need to import these two libraries that we just installed. So install pandas and mplfinance, right? So import these libraries, and as pd and as mpf is alias or nickname, okay? And we are giving nickname because typing mplfinance, right, it's like a bit longer, right? So we are using shorter or nickname for it, right? Now let's write other function that will print that will plot the candles data. Okay, so I'm going to name it plot candles. Okay, and we need to pass the candles data. Okay, and also I'll add type hinting, it will return none, it will not return anything. Okay, so this is just type hinting, not to worry. And okay, so first thing that we need to do is we need to convert the data that we are getting from IQ option. We need to convert this data to pandas data frame. Okay, so we just define pd pandas as pd, right? And pandas has something called data frame, and now we are going to pass this candles data to it, and it will convert this data to pandas data frame. So okay, this is what needs to be done. And the next the columns we are getting from IQ option is open, close, min, max, volume, right? But the MPL finance uses column names this way. So the column names for MPL finance plot needs to be open high with capital OS, and instead of mean this needs to be low, and instead of okay, so for close capital C, for volume capital V, right? So this is how the pandas data frame columns should be for MPL finance to plot the chart. And another thing is I'm going to set the timestamp. Okay, I'm going to set the timestamp as the data frame index. Again, like this thing is not important. Okay, this function is not important. I'm doing this just to show you the candles data. What we are getting and what we are seeing in the platform is the same. Okay, like in order for us to ensure that we are getting the right data. Okay, so this is the only purpose. So not to worry about this function, you can simply copy paste. Okay, and if you know it, it's better. Okay, so this is all needs to be done, all looks good. Now instead of printing the candles data, let's plot these two MPL finance chart. API dot plot candles, and we need to pass the candles data. Okay, so and we are storing the candles in candles add as API dot candles, right? So far so good. Clear the console and run the script. Okay, so this is the candlestick chart we are seeing for Euro USD, regular Euro USD pair. Any error or anything? Okay, nothing. Socket opened. Perfect. So we are getting the candles plotted. Okay, let's go to IQ option. I'm going to get rid of everything. Okay, so that chart looks cleaner, right? And let's see if looks the same. So it's getting data for 6 on up to 6:34, but the current time is 1 past 7. So this time is server time. Server uses UTC 0 or UTC time. Okay, you can see my current local time is 12:47 p.m, but IQ option server time is 7:02. Okay, you can change the time from like by clicking here and you go to time zone and simply scroll and set this to one of the UTC time. Okay, so that we get the server time. Okay, so we're getting the data plotted, canvas data, everything, but we're not getting the latest data. So what I'm going to do is, instead of from and to ID, these are the candlestick ID, and to get candlestick ID, like there is like there needs to be separate video made for it, right? Because it's also a lengthy process. So for now what I'm going to do is, instead of using this, I'm going to remove from it, and I'm going to pass the latest time instead of candlestick ID. Okay, and you may have already noticed WebSocket keeps sending time sync message, right, every time or so. So we are going to store this time sync message and keep updating as we get message from the WebSocket, right, in order to get the latest time. And we are going to pass this time sync. Okay, so the key is time sync, right? So this is the key. So we are going to store this to a self dot time sync. Okay, in this attribute. My bad. Okay, let's set this to be none. on initialization, and the next thing is let's go to on message. Remember, first thing we get is time sync, right? So I'm going to keep it at the top. You can keep it anywhere, no problem, not a big issue. I'm keeping it at the top. Okay. uh, okay, if the message name is time sync, set this to self dot time sync, and from message get the time sync value with this key. So far so good, right? Now let's go to our get candlestick function, and here is this the one? Yes. So remove this one and set this to self dot time sync. Self dot time sync. Okay, instead of time sync, I'm going to use I'm going to rename it. Okay, I want to rename it something like server time. Yeah, just remaining, not like just renamed, right? Nothing extra done. Okay, so looks good. Now let's run the script one more time and see what it will give us. Are we going to get the latest time or not? Sorry, latest candle or not? Okay. We're getting maybe we're getting the latest candle, but the candles is huge, and this is because we haven't defined how many candles we want to get. So it is like it's returning all the candle, right? If we go to console, so you can see the warning, you are plotting so much data that it may not be possible to see details. Okay. And this is happening because we are like asking for all the candles from IQ option. That's why we're getting data, and we're getting more data than what we can see here in the plot, right? So what can be done is I'm going to use something called count. Okay, so this count means number of candlestick bars that I want to get. Okay, get me 10 candlestick data. Okay, that then 10 means 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, like 10 candlestick bars, right? Okay, so now this time don't get me all the data, get me latest 10 candles. Okay, so this is what I am telling to it. uh, let's see, let's run the script. We must get the latest 10 candles only, and the chart must look the candles must look bigger, easily, yeah, like identifiable, right? Excuse me. Okay, so we're getting bigger candle this time, and here you can see the candle is same. This candle is this one, and then these candles with the bearish candle with long upper wick, then bullish candle with relatively longer wick, and then bigger candle, and this, and also the time you can see 7:05, so 7:06. So this is 7:05, this is 7:05, and this is 7:06, right? Okay, so we are getting the candle, and we're not getting this candle because this candle is still forming, right? And here we are clearly telling to it we don't want to get the forming candle, we want to get the candle that's already formed, right? Okay, so far so good. Now how about 100 candles? How about 100 candles? Let's plot the 100 candles now. Okay, here you can see we are getting the 100 candles, right? And how do we see in the IQ option web? It's exactly the same chart, right? Okay, so we're getting the data, right? That's the point. Okay, you can get any number of candles. You can set this to like 200, or I'm going to set this to 1000. Okay, I'm going to set this to 1000. Let's see like how the chart MPL Finance, our own chart, looks like now. Okay, you see the data are so consistent because we are plotting so many charts, like so many candles, and the plot is not equal to like I think plot is overflowed. Like what you can do is you can do something like this and it will make the chart bigger, right? Like this. Okay, so this down and this, right? So this down move and this. Okay, so perfect, we're getting the candles. Now let's store this candle to a CSV file. Okay, now let's do that. For that, let's write another function, and I'm going to name it save candles to CSV. Okay, so we need candles data, right? And other thing that we need is the file name. This file name needs to be string, and I'm going to default file name. Okay, candles.csv. So we don't have to keep passing file's name each time. Okay, so whenever we don't pass value for this, it will use this default value, right? For candles we cannot use default value because we need to get the latest data each time we run, right? That's why we're not giving the candlestick default value. Now first thing that needs to be done is convert data written by IQ Option WebSocket to Pandas data frame, and pass the candles data here, right? All good, and we can simply do something like df.toCSV, right? And pass the file name here. So far so good, right? This is all we need to do. Okay, now I don't want to plot it. Instead I'm going to call this function and pass api.candles here. Yes, so we need to pass candles data, and we are passing the api.candles. This function, first we are getting candles data, and then we are storing, and then we attempt to store this candle data to a CSV file with this file name candles.csv. Okay, we don't have any file so far, right? Run the script, and let's see we are going to get the candles data saved to a CSV file or not. Alright, so we have got the file candles.csv, and here you can see thousands of candlestick data. So ID, from, to, open, close, mean, max, and volume. Okay, if you want to rename the, okay, let's rename the columns. Instead of min max, let's make this to low, high, and instead of this index, let's use time, yeah, time frame, or like from time, yeah, from this timestamp as index rather than this. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the columns. To rename the column, df.rename, and I want to rename the columns, right? And the columns that I want to rename is max to high and mean to low. Okay, so this is the column name that we are getting from the IQ option WebSocket Canvas data, and now we are renaming these columns to this. The data remains the same. Data will be assigned as it is, not to worry. Okay, and other thing is I don't want this indexing like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is instead uh, uh, or maybe this one is okay, right? Not a big deal for now. Maybe the time it's like yes, this is like in milliseconds, right? And like we don't know the exact time. If you want to store as human readable time format, what can be done is we can actually convert what can be done is the column name is from, right? The column name is from. I want this column to be uh, readable date time format. Okay, so I'm going to convert this to date time, right? And the column to use is from, right? Far so good, right? And then how about doing index equals to false? I think this will not get us this index, right? Yeah, I think if we do this it will get rid of these numbers. Okay, so all looks good, right? Nothing much to do. Let's run the script. Okay, this is the candles data now, and here you can see we have now there is no index like 0 1 2 3. Now that's being removed, and the column, okay, and the from time is now a readable date time format. You can see like a standard date time format, right? To time is still in a post time because we haven't convert that time to regular date time. We can actually do this, right? Not a big deal. Let's do this. The column name is 2. Okay, and uh, this is still min max, but I want to rename this to high and low, and that's because of this. Okay, okay, I think so. That was the issue. Now everything looks good. Now we must get this thing renamed to high low, and also the to time to be standard datetime format like this. Okay, perfect. So you can see now the from and to time is standard datetime format, and open now these columns. Min max is also renamed to high low, right? And these are the value and volume. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Now let's run it one more time. Okay, this time I don't want necessarily 1000 candles. Get me 50 candles only. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to delete this CSV file, and I'm going to run fresh. We must get a CSV file, right? And then the candles data must be plotted. Okay, so candles, like we have got the candles data, 50 datas, right? And then the chart is plotted, and this is the latest data exactly as we see in IQ option platform, right? Yeah, yes, so far so good. Okay, now one last thing that's remaining is uh, making this thing dynamic. Okay, so now we need to pass couple of things to make these things dynamic. So the count, the number of candles, active ID. So first thing gonna be uh, the assist name, right? So I'm going to say give it like assist name, and this needs to be string. Okay, and then other thing is the count, the number of candles, number of candlestick bars that I want to get. So let's set this to count, and this needs to be integer, and by default I'm going to set this to 50. Okay, you may know like what default value does, right? In case we don't pass these values, this default value will be used here. And also the size. Okay, this also needs to be integer, and I'm going to set this to 60 because I personally use 1 minute candle almost all the time, like for any like for like technical analysis or signal generation and other things, right? So I am 1 minute candlestick trader. Okay, so I'm setting this to 60 based on my needs. You can change it as per your need. Okay, and now instead of this, the size needs to be this, and the count, and this needs to be okay. So assist name, we need to pass the ID, right? We need to pass the ID, we cannot pass the name. We must get the ID of the particular assist in order to get candlestick data. So for that I'm going to write one more function. Okay, and this function will be responsible for getting the ID for particular assist. We will pass assist name like euro USD OTC, euro USD, or BTC USD, and it will search that item or search that name here, and if it finds, it will return the ID for us. Yeah, so I'm going to name it something like get assist ID. Okay, right, and this function will return an integer. Okay, looks good. So now we need to import this variable from this module. Now let's go to all the way to the top, and here you can see, like you can type like let's import that variable from that module, from underlying list. This is the module name, right? Import underlying list. So this is the module name, and this is the variable name. This variable name, you can see it, like it's green because it's a module, and it's like sky blue because it's a variable, right? Okay, now let's go to the function that we are currently working on, and if assist name in underlying list return that assist ID. Okay, so it will return the assist ID, right? If it's if the name is in this dictionary. Otherwise I want to return, or I want to raise key error. Okay, I want to raise key error. Okay, and I want to say like, I want to say something like not in or not found. So far so good, right? And here instead of assist name, now let's call that function, okay, and passed assist name there. Yeah, all looks good, right? Now everything is okay. So all the things, all the like important things are dynamic now, right? Now let's test this function. Okay, the function that we just defined, get assist name. I will not run any of these. Okay, so actually need to instantiate, right? Instantiate, and after that we can call something like print get no API dot get assist name, get assist ID, and I'm going to pass euro USD OP, right? For option this is OP. Okay, we must get the ID if it's available in that underlying list, and it's getting us 1861. You can see 1861, right? And euro USD OP, let's go to this, let's find it, and here you can see the ID is indeed 1861. Now let's try to get ID for this USD jar OTC. So the ID for USD jar OTC is 1380. We must get 1380. 1380. Perfect. It's working as expected. Now let's pass the name that's not available in that dictionary. What response we will get? We must get an error, right? And here you can see F string not found. USD jar OTCF not found. You can see this is the error that we raised here, right? And it's important to raise that error because like, yeah, it's important to raise that error to alert us if we are passing the name that's like not available within IQ option, particular instrument trading. Okay, so all looks good. Okay, all of these variable are dynamic now. We're getting like we have successfully like we successfully like getting the assist ID, right? Everything, and we have defined the default values. Everything looks good. Now let's invoke this function. Okay, this time we need to pass the assist name, otherwise we will get an error. Okay, it will get us an error like argument, this argument is one of the argument is missing, so I'm not passing any argument here. Okay, and here you can see IQ option dot get candle history missing one required positional argument assist name. We're not passing other two as well, right? We're not passing this count and size arguments as well, but it is raising error for that particular this for assist name only, and that's because we have defined the default value for this. If we define default value for this as well, euro USD OP, right? This assist is available within option trading. This time, even if we invoke the function without passing any argument, it will not raise an error. It will not raise an error and work the way we expect it to work. Perfect. So it's working, right? It's working as expected. We are also getting the candles data. So the latest candle data is for 728, and here you can see 728, 729 is still forming, right? So we're getting the latest data, and we are also successfully plotting the latest candles in the chart, right? So everything is like everything is working as expected, all looks good. So what other things is remaining for this tutorial is, so actually nothing, so everything is done, right? So in this video we wrote 4 function, right? So this function responsible for getting the particular assist ID, this function responsible for getting candlestick historical candlestick data. This does not get the live candle data, right? For that we need to write another function, and we'll do that in upcoming video, right? And then we wrote this function. It plots the candles data that we are receiving from WebSocket in a chart like this. This is mplfinance chart. In order to get this chart, we need to install mplfinance library. And then lastly we wrote this function save candles to CSV, which is responsible for saving candles data to a CSV file with little bit of column modification and date time format, right? All right, so thank you for watching. See you in the next video.